going on, everybody? Right, so I'm going to be answering some questions I've got in emails. I might just make it one video for one email. I'm not sure yet. We'll see how long I talk for. Okay, so this is actually a decent question. I don't know the person's background. I don't know really anything why they're asking me this, but it's something that I'm glad they asked, because a lot of times when women can't have children, they hate abortion. And things I've heard are things like, you should cherish the fact that you can have a child. Right. It's sad if you can't have a child. I apologize for that. Well, I don't apologize for it, but I'm sorry that, that life has done that, whatever. I wouldn't wish pain on anyone. Thus why I support abortion. But anyways, but that's no reason to hate people who can. That's like someone who cannot walk hating everybody who can walk. And while the difference is, though, my answer to her question, or his question, whoever, right? Their question's really simple as this. I have a question for you. If you and your husband a few years from now, let me start that over. I have a question for you. If you and your husband a few years from now were ready and want to try and have a baby, but you find out you cannot get pregnant, would you regret having an abortion then? Okay? My response is what I was going to say a moment ago, and I'll probably go into more detail just because, I like to talk. And truth does hurt. I'm sorry, truth hurts. And when I say truth hurts, I'm talking to people who, if you can't have a child and you want a child, I'm sorry. I mean, I am sorry, but it's not my fault. And that's not my path in life. That's your path. There are children in adoption. Let's get to it. What is life? We'll get to that question in a minute. But right now, I replied with this. Thank you for your email. I'll answer again in a video. Nope, not at all. Would not regret it at all. That's my answer. Why? Life is not giving birth. Life is a child, an infant, of any age that needs guidance. Foster and adoption homes are sickly overflowing. So we would adopt. If we wanted that. If we wanted a child, that is. And maybe one day we will. If someone can't have kids, that is sad, yes. But it's not a reason for judging harshly or hatefully women who can but don't. It's their life. No one else's business. And that's how I ended that. And that's pretty simple. Children are not. I don't know if anyone. I keep talking about my adoption channel. Now, I've made it sound like this horrible hate channel. It's not. I just want women to realize that there's a whole other side to adoption that see this crisis pregnancy centers and these anti-choicers or anti-lifers aren't telling. And it's not just pro-choices and the true pro-lifers, me and any other pro-choicer. It's not just us who believe this, or who know this, but they don't tell you about it. I have a book I'm working on. It's almost complete. It's about the effects that adoption and abandonment have on the fetus's brain development. Now, again, that's development, but I'll go into that later. No, it's not murder to have an abortion. The brain is developing. It's kind of like when you make coffee. I used this before, but I'll say it again. When you put the grounds in and you're grinding it, you don't have coffee yet. You have coffee grounds. It's a process. The brain is developing, right? So as it develops, it's impacted by knowing the mother does not want it. The woman does not want it. It changes the structure of the brain, makes it more susceptible to mental illness and other behavioral and cognitive issues. And I have all these things like that. And then, not to mention what it does to the mother. They talk about abortion, but they never tell you, and they don't tell you the truth there. But then they go and they never mention adoption or childbirth and the risks women face there. So that's not life. I'm not saying women should not have children, obviously, and I'm not saying you shouldn't go and put your kid up for adoption if that's what you want. I'm against it, but I think you should do whatever you would, go for it, whatever. It's your life, not mine. I'm not here to make choices for you. But there's so much. I've been talking about this for a while. I need to go ahead and get that channel up. But anyways, I have a book that I'm going to be putting out probably the middle or end of next year that talks about effects that all this has on kids, infants, fetuses, development, the fetus's development, and the mother's brain. Because they're forcing her to have a pregnancy she doesn't want, and it does impact way more than abortion, because abortion, 1% of the time, 1% of the time, women regret. And that's worldwide research by independent researchers, as well as, yes, pro-choice, of course, by respected colleges. Like I said, this part is all in my Instagram video. Pro-choice and abortion research has solid, sound, decades, hundreds of years, if you want to go back to the very first written recording of it, years of evidence that abortion is not a sin, it's not killing, it's sorry, I'm just blown away, right? And now, obviously, with all the technology we have even more proof over the past, I would say, 20, 30 years, that no, I could go down a list, and I want to do that, and I plan on it, but I just don't have to. I like I said on Instagram, I have things to do, right? And so that means I can't always do what I want to do. But that doesn't mean I don't have it, and that doesn't mean it's not true. That means that anti-choicers, anti-lifers don't have research. They create their research. They'll find a Christian doctor who, by the way, the Bible does not mention abortion. In fact, someone who is, I don't know if he's for abortion or against it, but he wrote me a message saying how the Bible proves that abortion is okay. I have not really read it in full. I'm not a Christian, but I believe he is. I will read it in full, and I will read it to you guys. And it's an interesting concept, interesting theory, and I'll put it up on here, and we'll see what happens there. But my point of all this is, just because you can't have a child, there are children who need homes of all ages that are being neglected because they're not a fresh new baby. You're not going and buying a puppy, okay? If you go, and after the age, I believe it is 6 or 8, one of the two, the rate declines each year of their chance of getting a home. At 18, they're aged out. Some states is 21. That means they're tossed onto the street like think of prison, when they throw a former prisoner out on the street, now that he's free. How do you expect him not to reoffend? I mean, do you have a brain? As far as abortion goes, adoption, sorry, they're really similar words. As far as adoption goes, these children are being just tossed out in the streets, and then they're becoming, I'm one of them, and I have a video to make that I have not made yet because my computer had some issues, about when someone asked me, what would the fetus say about abortion? I was the unwanted fetus, and I will tell you what it would say, or what at least what I would have said, because I wish I would have been aborted. It would have been better for everyone around, not just myself. And I'll go into this, but it's like I said, I have to have time. I have other stuff I do. So there you have it. There's the answer to that question. If you can't have a child, I'm sorry for you, but don't hate people because they can. That's not helpful to anyone. It's not helping you any. If you really want a kid, there are kids over the age of 8 that need a home. And yeah, some of them will be difficult because it hurts to be abandoned by your parents because you're not wanted. That's why abortion is better. Abortion is far more humane for that reason and that reason alone. But I could go into a lot more reasons why it's more humane than bringing an unwanted child into this world. Because I am an unwanted child. I'm an unwanted whatever I am now. But the thing is, the cool part about it is when you get to be this age, I don't get hurt anymore. When I know that I'm right, and when I know that when I feel in my heart and soul that I'm right, and I know that I have a heart and soul, unlike a lot of these people that contact me with hate, you can't faze me. You cannot faze me. Only thing you can do is inspire me to do my activism more. So until you guys quit harassing and abusing women and killing people, actual humans, human being, a living, breathing person, not a potential person, until you stop doing all this, bombing clinics and all that every year, I'm going to be here and I'm going to be telling truth. And I'm going to get all this organized in a way so that I can do it better and proper and be more articulate with it. So if you've had an abortion, you're not a murderer. If you've given your child up for adoption, it's not your fault. I mean, don't take this video as me saying you're a horrible person. Like I said, I need to get that other channel up so I can explain some things. I want it up because I want women to have the truth. Thus, I'm on abortion, which is why this channel's here. The adoption channel is going to be there to tell women the truth about adoption. Facts, not my opinion. I will put my opinion in, obviously, but I'm going to read facts, and then you can make up your choice. But you have up to, I think, it depends on the state you're in, but I think the maximum is 72 hours to decide if you want to give your child up for adoption. One state lets you do it before you even give birth. So that for an emotionally unstable woman with their hormones out of it, anyway, I'm not going to go into that now, but no, it's horrific, and they sell these children. And if you don't believe me, that's fine. I can prove it to you. After I upload a few more videos, I will hopefully get started on that adoption channel so that I can start explaining these things more. And hopefully people will listen. I have a feeling no one's going to want to hear it because it hurts, yeah. It hurts to know that, and if you really care for life, it hurts, yeah. But that's why people need to know, because it needs to be stopped, just like these aunties do. It's my choice. Don't hate somebody because they have something you don't. Try and help someone else out and do the best you can with your life.